There's no money in boarding, they say. What if I could tell you a way to make good money boarding? Hello fellow Christians, how you doing guys? I'm Nolan Michael Cruz. I'm here to make your life just a bit better. So here we go. So the age-old term, there's no money in boarding. Not completely true. So for anybody who doesn't know, I did have my own little barn. I offered boarding, and there is only one way you can make money doing it, and it's the way I decided to do. Disclaimer, this doesn't go for every single barn. You know, if you offer training, or you offer lessons, or you offer trailering, or you offer show management, whatever it is, yeah, you can make money that way. But I'm talking about the traditional way. I'm talking about, you come in, you board with me, I offer an arena, blah, blah, blah. I offer a stall, turn in, turn out, whatever it is. I feed your horse. I'm talking about that way. And there's only, honestly, one way to make money that way. And it's this. Most places that you go to, they're offering boarding from a standpoint of, you come in, I, as the barn owner, will do your stall, do your shavings, feed your horse hay, get your grain, turn them in and out, blah, blah, blah. And even if you charge $800, I'm just going to take, a random amount, but even if you say, I'm going to charge you $850, you'll be lucky if you make $100 per horse. From all the time and effort you put into each thing, you are pretty much making lucky $100. What if I told you I could triple, possibly quadruple that a month for doing a fraction of the work? You still interested? Here's the deal. Everything you know about boarding, we're going to throw out the window. I'm going to tell you the positives first. Then there are, of course, some catches. And that's where you need to be able to go, okay, can I work with it? But here we go, positives first, right? So the first thing is you are going to offer dry stalls. Dry stalls. And for those who don't know what dry stall is, it's pretty much you are offering an empty stall for people to bring their horse in, and they are expected to do a lot of the work. Okay, how does this work exactly? So what is the boarder expected? The boarder is expected to buy their own shavings. They're expected to buy their own hay. They're expected to do their own stall. They are expected to, obviously supply their own supplements, blah, blah, blah. That's what it's up to them. You as the barn owner are expected to do is the following. You are expected to buy the grain, feed that horse the grain from morning and afternoon and evening, whatever your feed schedule is, you do it. Blanket up the horse, put the boots on, bell boots, whatever the horse needs for turnout, and turn the horse out. What you also are expected to do is bring that horse in, unboot it, do all that, put it back in a stall, feed it again, whatever it is. You're also expected to feed the horse the hay that the owner has supplied. So let's just break this down quickly. Your whole day is as such. You get up in the morning, you go into the barn, you give everybody their amount of hay. The hay is supplied by the boarder. You feed them all their hay. Then you feed them their grain, which is supplied by you as the barn owner. Then you are going to boot up all the horses, dress them up in their turnout, whatever, you're going to turn them out. So already you have done, 12 minutes of your day, because you have to think about each individual horse. You're doing like a minute to feed the hay to each horse, right? Each horse gets a minute. You're doing the grain, which takes, like 2 minutes. 2 to 4 minutes, whatever. So you're at like 5 minutes per horse. If that, you're going to turn them out, which is going to take you 5 minutes. So that's 10 minutes. And what you are going to do now is you don't touch the stalls. You don't do anything there. There you have their turnout. And when you're done there, you bring the horses back in. So you're doing another 5 minutes per horse. You're going to feed them the hay that the boarder has supplied. And then you're going to feed them the grain that you have bought. Then at night check, you feed them their hay. So daily, you are doing like 20 minutes per horse, pretty much. I'm just going to say that standard wide. Like it could be a bit longer, it could be a bit shorter, but pretty much 20 minutes per horse. So then you got to think of what does the boarder do? This is the clincher. What I did was I gave them from 8 in the morning until 8 o'clock at night. That's a good 12 hours, depending on what hours you work, if you work, whatever. 12 hours to do the stall, put in shavings, whatever the deal is. and they're good to go. So let's lay this out mathematically. How much do you charge for the stall? I charged between $500 and $600. Now I know everyone's going, holy crap, like that's a lot of money, especially for a dry stall, which I have to do all the work for myself. Now here's the funny part, and here's where the catches come in. You've taken your aspect from I offer boarding to all these different people to I offer dry stall boarding to all these small people. But if luck is on your side, which it was for me, is that I got all these people who want to do their own work because boarding here where I live has gone so stupidly expensive. I mean, for the, most, like the smallest amount of things over here, you're looking at like $1,200 a month to just get like basic stuff. So what I offered was this routine, which is come do it yourself, but I still offered them an arena. They still had like a heated tack room. They still had a viewing, like they had everything. You still had the feeding. And I was here only offering myself for pretty much 20 minutes per horse, 20 to 25 minutes per horse. But I was getting paid like quadrupled because now we get to go into the fun thing. For them doing it this way, they are getting the amount of shavings they want into that stall. They're getting the stall done how they believe it should get done. You've also given them a time limit from 8 o'clock in the morning to 8 o'clock at night, so the stalls to get done. Those stalls have to get done. If the stalls are not going to get done, and the board decides, well, I'm not going to do it today because I don't feel like it. Like, once in a blue moon is understandable if somebody's sick, who really just can't do it. But if it becomes an ongoing thing, this is where I took up initiative and I said, well, fine then, if you can't make it happen, then I will do the stall for $20 a day. I will use my shavings and blah, 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 which is going to run them to, once again, to that $1,200 mark. Now we have to think about, why would the boarder do this? Why would a boarder choose to do this? And as I said, the boarding in my situation, like in our area, has gone so ridiculously high. And if you're like me, who ends up doing most of the work anyway, because I'm very picky about how a stall gets done and how the shavings look, and I don't like my stalls to stink. I'm very picky, and the amount of hay that I give, this is actually the way to go, because what I'm doing is I'm charging $500 to $600. It's going to cost the people their own time, which if you're like me, pick out stall and do the stall again at night after the workers have done it anyway, you're pretty much doing the work anyway. So that's my mentality, is I'm now just paying myself. The boarders are now getting, okay, so if it costs the boarder to, they have to buy their hay, their shavings, blah, 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 costs them, say, $250 a month just on that. If I charge $600, they're getting for $850, which is a lot less than $1,200 a month, pristine stuff. They have nobody other than themselves to pitch at about, oh, the stalls aren't good enough, blah, 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 because they're the ones doing it. And they know that firsthand because that's why they're coming here, is because they want to do it themselves anyway. So it all evens out. Let's talk about cons. First, once again, as I said prior, you need to put up a standpoint to say you have 12 hours to do this, and don't skip out. Don't be like, oh, I won't do the stall for 3 days. That's not acceptable. And then if that's the case, then you as the barn owner have to do that. 2, storage. You need to have enough storage for each individual person, for, as I say, the horse. So you need to place, another stall. So you need pretty much 2 stalls for every 1 horse. I was lucky in that standpoint that I had a long spot of, long aisle of stalls. I only needed to keep it running was half the horses. And third thing, which is the hard part, is you need to get the clientele who are interested in doing it that way. What I said earlier, you have all these boarders to choose from doing just normal boarding, and now I've got these many boarders who are interested in doing it because it's dry stalling. But if you can do it like I did, you can make it happen. And as I say, I'm seeing more and more people try and do the dry stall situation because it's ridiculously expensive out there now. So let's talk money income, because that's why we're doing this, right? So if you're doing 20 minutes per horse on average for 30 days, that's 10 hours. You have charged $600 per stall, $100 approximately going towards your grain. Another $100 or so is going towards your time to turn those horses out, bring them in, feed them those 20 minutes a day. So you're getting paid for what you're doing too. So now you've gone from $600 to $500 to $400. And that $100 for working you're getting paid for. But that other $400, $300, $400, you're getting paid to do absolutely nothing. Your money is not going out on shavings or hay or any of that. It's just coming in. So now you've taken, instead of $100 you're getting income to do all this work, now you've taken it and said, I have quadrupled it for doing like nothing. Boarding is not easy, and boarding doesn't make money unless you do it correctly. And if you have a bit of luck on your side that you can get those people. Once again, con is you have to get the people. But if you can make it happen, like I did, it does work. If you have any questions or you have, you want to learn a bit more of how I work this, by all means, ask in the comments below. I am here to help you. And if there's questions that are continuous, I will make another video of trying to explain this a bit better. As I say, I'm sometimes not the best person to explain things. I kind of ramble, but if you want this, or if you have questions, as I say, just repeating again, comment down below, and I will try to be as fast as I can to answer you. Okay? And if you haven't already, follow me on Instagram and Twitter. I do follow back Horsey accounts. And while you're at that, why not hit that like button and hit that share button? And while you're at that, let's hit that subscribe button too, huh? I mean, I do have new videos, but the horse world every single week, just for your entertainment, and try to help you through this crazy world. I'm Nolan Michael Cruz, and I will talk to you later. Ciao!